Sodexo is an international company, headquartered in Gaithersburg, Maryland. Their impact is felt across the world and in the local community of Spokane. If we can incorporate some of the sustainable commitments that Sodexo has made, then we too can make an impact.
Sodexo is committed to a 14-step sustainability plan. It can be viewed on their website. Sodexo is making sure to reduce their carbon footprint in all the countries that they operate in. They are also reducing their water footprint in all the countries that they're operating in. They're making sure to promote healthy choices for clients, consumers, and employees in all of these countries. Sodexo is advocating for balanced, healthy meal options. They're choosing food that is sourced local, it is sustainable, and it is seasonal. They're making sure to provide and promote choices with lower sugar and salt intake. They're also increasing the purchase of products that are fair trade. Sodexo is choosing to take fish that is sustainable in all of their operations. They're sourcing and promoting all supplies that are sustainable. They're also making sure that organic waste is recovered. They're making sure that non-organic waste is properly disposed of. Finally, they're making sure that their global sustainability supply chain code is followed by all countries. They support local communities, and they're fighting hunger and malnutrition.
What produce specifically does Sodexo purchase that is locally grown and or organic?
Specifically, definitely almost anything that is seasonal. Anything that's in season, anything that's close by. We buy hydroponic lettuce from those orchards throughout the year to supplement our own hydroponics farm. In addition to that, depending on the season, we will buy anything from potatoes to legumes to, of course, we also utilize shepherd's grain, but not directly as a produce. But Washington apples are big, and I'm trying to think of real specifics.
Yeah, the first thing we do is we try and buy local when we can. Of course, the region we live in is sometimes limited during the school year of what we can buy. If we can't buy local necessarily within this area, the second thing we do is buy organic. So obviously, you know, if we can get blueberries from Oregon, it may not be necessarily local, but they're organic. So that's kind of the way it goes down. The other part of it is just trying to be able to accommodate our students in needs that maybe aren't necessarily something that we can get organic or locally at a good price to supplement the meal plan cost. And so that's just kind of making a balance between the two. Somebody may want bananas, which we know we don't grow locally. So for us to get them, they can't come from here. But everybody pays the same price for a meal plan, so we have to be fair to those students that want some of those items that we can't necessarily get organic or locally.
So Sodexo is definitely a large company. It is an international company. It does do a lot of work on the local level, and so it sounds like some goals have been met already. What are some more goals that are in the future, so around 2015 or later on, that are Sodexo's looking at meeting?
Well, one of the big ones that right now is to increase what we buy locally, and we're working with the Eat Club, the Real Food, and working through the Real Food Challenge calculator to get a baseline of where we are today, so that we can set goals for tomorrow, 2015, 2020, and so that we can improve our local purchases. Right now, I feel like we do a very good job, and I've joked with the Eat Club and said I wish they would have measured us 2 years ago, because we're so much farther than we were just 2 years ago. So that's one of the big goals we have right now. We're also trying to work with the local farming community to build either a co-op or a hub or something where we can really work much closer with the farmers about what they're producing and what would be available looking seasons ahead. and determining if we can use that or utilize that within our resident dining program or someone in the retail or catering program as well.
Now, you mentioned E-Club, and that's definitely where students can get involved because it is a student group. Do you have any other suggestions or choices that are currently available for Gonzaga students who are looking to make their dining experience more sustainable?
One of the ones that's been around for almost 30 years now that I've always used is take what you want, but eat what you take. And don't waste a lot. Don't take more food than you really are going to be able to eat. Take trips up to food bars and determine when you get full, and don't just go up and grab a bunch of plates. That's one of the biggest things that we see, especially on a dish return, is the amount of food that might come back. Also, the other piece that I would put there is use the recycle bins, and understand that we are doing composting. There's many ways of participating in that, whether it's in the resident dining or also in some of the retail operations where you can separate your garbage at the end of the day so that it goes into the right streams.
How long have you been in E-Club?
I've been involved with EAT for not very long actually. I've been involved for 4 months, and it's not a very active club at the moment, but I've been to the Real Food Summit as part of EAT.
Well, this Real Food Summit? What is exactly its purpose?
Yes, Real Food Summit is organized by RFO, so Real Food Organization, RFC actually, so Real Food Challenge Organization, and it was held in Baltimore. So it aims to inform and educate students from universities around the United States to be more educated about real food and sourcing of food. And the challenge itself is to try to get the president of each university to sign a real food commitment to source 20% of their food. So university dining services to source 20% commit 20% of their budget on sourcing food that are ecologically sound, non-GM, local grown, and just humanely raised. So all the meat or vegetables that we get, 20% of that budget should be spent on getting those. And here at Gonzaga, we have seniors who are already working with Sodexo on the real food calculator. So this 20% is based on the real food index, and we already have people working on real food calculator at the moment.
31 schools are currently using the Real Food Calculator, as it plays a crucial role in guiding schools' transition to 20% real food by 2020. The more real a food is, the more local and community-based, fair, ecologically sound, and humane the food is grown.
You can help by choosing only sustainable, organic foods, taking only what you are planning on eating, avoiding being wasteful, using the recycling bins on campus, making informed choices about what you are eating, using compost, and voting with your money. Support locally grown and sustainable products.
Nobody say, nobody